Have you ever noticed how a single word can ruin your entire day? How one small moment can stay in your mind long after it has passed? Many of us believe anger comes from what others say or do, but what if the truth is quieter than that and far more powerful? Before we get into it, remember to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Ilara lived in a small village where the days moved slowly and the air was calm. She worked in a simple weaving workshop near the fields, shaping cloth with steady hands and careful focus. From the outside, her life looked peaceful, but inside, Ilara was often restless. Small things unsettled her: a careless comment, a sharp tone, a simple correction. When these moments came, her chest tightened and her thoughts raced ahead of her. Words escaped before she could stop them. Later, when she was alone, she replayed those moments again and again, wishing she had acted differently. Each morning, Ilara walked a narrow path to her work. The path followed a quiet river that flowed gently toward the forest. She often noticed how the water moved without effort, slipping around stones instead of fighting them. Still, she carried her irritation with her, as if it belonged to her. At the workshop, Ilara worked hard, but her reactions made everything heavier. When someone pointed out a mistake, she felt attacked. When something went wrong, she blamed herself harshly. Her hands stayed busy, but her mind never rested. One afternoon, a fellow worker gently mentioned a flaw in her weaving. The words were simple and kind, yet Ilara felt the familiar heat rise within her. She answered too quickly, her voice tight and sharp. The room grew quiet. No one argued, no one corrected her, but the distance remained. That evening, Ilara walked home slowly and stopped by the river. She sat on a smooth stone and watched the water move past her. She picked up a small pebble and dropped it into the stream. The ripples spread outward, then disappeared. The river continued on, unchanged. For the first time, Ilara wondered why she held on to every disturbance when the river let everything pass. Days went by and the pattern became clear to her. Anger did not protect her. It did not solve problems or bring peace. It only left her tired. Still, when moments arrived, her reactions felt automatic, as if they came before choice. One morning, an older woman came to collect a woven cloth. She examined it closely and pointed out an uneven edge. Ilara felt the spark of anger rise, sharp and familiar. Her mouth opened, ready to defend herself. Then, something unexpected happened. Ilara noticed her breath, fast, tight. She closed her mouth and inhaled slowly. The moment stretched. The room was quiet. She thought of the river. When she spoke, her voice was calm. She simply said she would fix it. The woman nodded and left. The tension faded, and Ilara returned to her work with steady hands. Later that evening, Ilara returned to the river. She watched leaves float briefly on the surface before drifting away. The river did not resist them. It did not hold them. It allowed them to pass. Ilara realized that she had been holding on to every word, every glance, every moment that brushed against her, and each time she disturbed her own peace. Not long after, a greater test came. During a busy market day, a customer complained loudly about a delay. Others turned to watch. Ilara felt her heart race. The urge to explain, to argue, to defend herself surged stronger than before. She paused. She placed her hands down and breathed once, then again. The noise around her softened. She listened without interruption. When she spoke, her voice was calm. She simply said she would fix it. The woman nodded and left. The tension faded, and Ilara returned to her work with steady hands. From that day on, Ilara practiced patience like a quiet discipline. She did not become perfect. Sometimes anger still appeared, but now she noticed it sooner, and each time she returned to her breath. Slowly, her days changed. The workshop felt lighter. Her work improved. Her thoughts grew quieter. People spoke to her differently. Conflicts ended quickly. Harsh words no longer stayed with her. She understood that other people's emotions were not hers to carry. One evening, as the sun lowered behind the trees, Ilara stood by the river once more. The water reflected the sky, calm and steady. She smiled, not because life had become easy, but because she had learned how to meet it. By choosing not to react, Ilara chose peace. And as she walked back along the village path, she carried nothing heavy with her anymore. What once disturbed her now passed by like leaves on the water. Sometimes, the greatest change begins with a single breath and the courage to pause. If this story spoke to you, share in the comments, what is one situation where you want to choose calm instead of reaction?